Hey, welcome to the cottage, everybody. Hope you guys are doing good. We're about to do mini readings. What's up? What's up? Good to see everybody. Hello, hello. Let's see who's here. Hey, Birdman. Hey, Michaela. Hey, Jesse. Hey, Kathy. How y'all doing? Good to see everybody. All right, let's get started. Let me get everything rocking and rolling here. Make sure my phone is silenced. It was not. So, yes, I'm doing good, Jesse. I hope you're doing good. Thank you for asking. All right, let's clear some energy. Do the sound bowl thing. Here we go. Hey, Emma. All right. All right, how's everybody doing? Good to see everybody. All right, we're getting ready to read for folks, and Michaela is up first. So let's see what Michaela has to say. Here we go. All right, so Michaela, let me timestamp for Michaela real quick. All right. By the way, y'all, if you're here, we do have availability still. There is still some availability if you want to get on the list. So, well, I'm glad you did, Emma. There's Michaela. All right, Miss Michaela, let's see what's up. All right, so she says, you have read about two guys in my life before, Ben and JB. I'm hoping to get an update on both of their feelings toward me. Ben is a newer, younger energy that goes back and forth on whether this could be something serious. JB has been around years, doesn't want a relationship, but doesn't want to lose me. It's very confusing what he actually wants. So, Michaela, let's see if we can sort out things and help you to kind of get some clarity on things, love. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we can find out for you. All right, here we go. Hey, Joseph, how you doing? All right, let's first read for Ben, I believe is the newer guy, the younger guy. Yes, newer and younger. Okay. Let's first see about Ben toward you, Michaela. Give me Ben toward Michaela. What's going on with Ben toward Michaela? You're fine. You can be nosy. That's what we do here. Michaela, you can. Give me Ben. Let's break down Ben's energy toward Michaela. Let's break down Ben's energy toward Michaela. Let's break down Ben's energy toward Michaela. Give me Ben toward Michaela. Give me Ben toward Michaela. Give me Ben toward Michaela. Let's go on Ben. Give me Ben toward Michaela. Give me Ben toward Michaela. Give me Ben toward Michaela. So I have the Death card in the reverse, the Ten of Swords in the reverse, Five of Pentacles in reverse. Man, 3 comeback around cards here, Michaela. 3 comeback around cards from Ben toward you. It almost makes me think that he may be reconsidering, all right, where he's at. He's kind of, okay, I kind of get him being in the mood to take a leap of faith, and quite honestly, yeah, I mean, I've got this energy of wanting to be all in. My question is, and I'm going to find this out for you, Michaela, it's almost like, here's the thing. He is indecisive in general with the Two of Swords. I mean, right now, he's all gung-ho you. And I wonder, I have to wonder, Michaela, if what I'm picking up on is your absence and how it affects him. But then once he's, back in your energy, he waffles again. You let me know if that's something that makes sense to you about him. Because I get the impression that if he feels like he's going to lose you, okay, that he gets, this sense of needing to get off his butt and do something, right? So, I mean, I kind of get him coming toward you and being very gung-ho and then backing away from this thing with the Two of Swords here. And the King of Wands in reverse. Yeah, Five of Wands. There's a conflict within him on the inside. I think at the end of the day, I think here's the issue with the reason he goes back and forth. I think he himself, let's see, she says, yes, we work near each other and go periods without seeing each other. Okay, yeah. I think I think he does miss you when you're not around, and then I think he comes, full on toward you. And then but then it's kind of like when he gets you, he's not sure he wants you. Devil in reverse, Three of Swords. I just think that I don't think he's ever going to do anything other than go back and forth on whether this could be something serious. What he's giving me is this: if he feels like he's going to lose you, then he gets off his duff and becomes motivated to come towards you in a very, seemingly all-in kind of way, till the minute he actually feels like he's got you, and then, he waffles, and I think he might do that. I think he's a little bit fickle or a little bit indecisive. Okay. And I will tell you this, whether you know this or not, I do think he has a wandering eye at a minimum. Let me say this again. At a minimum, Ben has a wandering eye. Okay? Because I got third-party energy all over this thing. So I don't know if he's got interest in somebody else. It almost makes me think he does, and that's why he flip-flops back and forth. I'm getting an immature energy off of him. Yeah. I don't know that. Here's what I'm getting. I don't think it's a specific person, but I do think he absolutely wants the freedom to play around with other people. Yeah, and I don't mean like fuck around. Well, I actually do see that. Okay, I do see him wanting the freedom to be able to go boinky boinky with whoever he wants to. All right, and keeping those options open. I actually get that. I don't think it's a specific person per se. I think he just likes to play the field. And I think that's his problem. I think he's torn between commitment toward you and playing the field. I think the third party in this case is not a person, but just playing the field is what I get here. And I think that's going to always be his thing. I get a very immature energy in general here. He's coming in as like the Knight of Wands, which is very kind of player, you know. This is good. New energy. Just want to make sure that I'm reading the situation right. Yeah, he's very chaotic. And what I get with the Hangman in reverse, I think he lacks the inclination to consider how his chaos affects you, or could affect you if you let it, right? I don't know how emotionally invested you are, you know, because like you said, this new energy, and you're just trying to make sure you're reading it right. If this is how you're reading it, then yeah, you're right. You've got him pegged, because this is what I get, and I don't, you know, this is one of those things that people sometimes mature from and sometimes don't, right? That's what I got, and I hope that helps you. Let's look at JB. Let's look at JB. Let's see what's going on with JB Lovebug. He's young and he wants to have fun, but also feel like there is something potential there. But let him have his fun. I don't think there's anything with potential there. I don't at all. I think this is the kind of guy that, I mean, you got to understand. This is the kind of guy who, and I don't even know if it's him. I mean, let's not even say it's the way he is, period. This is where he sees you, somewhere competing with just not even a person, okay? And I'll be honest with you, I did not pick up any emotion toward you from Ben, okay? I just, if I were you and I were looking for somebody to have fun with, and I could look at him as nothing more than that, because I don't think he has any potential. I mean, I can't speak for you, Michaela. Let me just say this. If I were in a situation where somebody couldn't choose between me and the ability to go fuck whoever they wanted, I would look at that as a time waster. And I kind of think, I don't think there's potential here for anything. I mean, you've got to understand, if in his mind, he doesn't see you having anything to bring to the table that just keeps him from being able to go do the boinky boinky with some random, because that's what I'm picking up, then you know, he doesn't really have as high a regard for you as he should to be able to have potential, right? Yeah. I would say this. I would say, and again, this is you in your life, and I get what you're saying. You're with me, Auntie. Here's what, you know, ideally you want someone that sees your value, period, right? And yeah, she says JB is definitely more the complicated one, and I kind of surmised that from what you said, because he's been around for longer, right? So we will look at JB in a little bit more detail, because you would ask me for a second question, so we'll switch over to him. I kind of think that Ben is somebody that, if you keep them in your energy at all, it's strictly for those days when you're bored and you need a +1, and he's available. That would be all he would ever be to me, because I kind of think that's where the way he kind of looks at you. Here's what I think. I think he likes having the security of knowing you're around. I think if he had what he wanted, Ben, I think he would have you standing by and waiting on him forever. And if he ever grew up, well, maybe you'd be the one. Well, my thing is, people who do that to people, they never end up with that person that they've, put on a shelf, right? And this is the thing: if you were to put your life on hold for this man, Ben, I'm still talking about Ben. If you were to put your life on hold for this man until they grew up, which maybe never, are they going to really respect you? Right? Even if you guys ever did end up together, right? All right, let's look at JB. Let's look at JB for you, Michaela. Give me JB toward Michaela. Give me JB toward Michaela. Give me JB. Honestly, the way you describe JB sounds like, I know he's been around longer and there's more complicated, because there's history there. But he's been around for years, doesn't want a relationship, doesn't want to lose me. It's very confusing what he actually wants. He sounds a lot like Ben. And what you may not realize, Michaela, is you may be having a pattern yourself that maybe will actually something that is useful to you if we see that. Okay, as we look at JB, you may actually be seeing a pattern whether you realize it or not. Because both of them have that in common, I believe. Let's see about JB. Let's see about JB. Because if you've got a pattern, guess what? You and I got something we can work with. We've got useful information if that's true, okay? That tells us something, but we'll find out. No, that's not a bad thing. Because if we do find out that you have a pattern, then we have useful information, right? And we may be having an aha moment in your love life in general, but we'll see. I want to look at JB. I want to look at JB. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Here we go. Give me JB toward Michaela. Give me JB toward Michaela. Give me JB toward Michaela. Give me JB more toward Michaela. Give me JB toward Michaela. JB toward Michaela. Okay, so I have the Ace of Cups, the Eight of Pentacles, and the King of Cups in the reverse, and the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. Give me more on this. All right, here's what we got. Just the rest of the story that just came out was the Empress, the Knight of Wands, and the Ten of Cups in reverse. So we see two people here. We see an Empress and we see a Knight of Wands. You're the Empress. You're ready, right? Here's what's really interesting about this whole thing with JB. JB came in as the Knight of Wands, no less, in the upright, just like Ben. Just like Ben. Ben is just a newer version of JB. That's all. And so what's interesting is this. The Ten of Cups in reverse came out after those two cards, all right? So what I see JB doing is coming towards you and then backing away, coming towards you and then backing away. And, this kind of rings true. He doesn't want to lose you, all right? Same thing. He wants you there, but he doesn't want to commit. That's the exact same thing that Ben wants. We saw that. right? I don't know what JB's overall reason is for not wanting to commit. I haven't delved into that, and we can. But at the end of the day, and let me say why I'm not so inclined to look at his reason for not wanting to, because I do see that ultimately that's going to be his MO, JB. And that right there gives you enough information for you to know. Because at the end of the day, here's the thing. Does it really matter why he doesn't want to? Not really. I mean, we did see with Ben that the cards actually came out and told us. But at the end of the day, even that doesn't matter. Here's what matters. Here's what's really relevant, Michaela. As at the end of the day, you're dealing with actually two different people, okay, that for whatever reason want to put you on a shelf and you to wait on them and you to always be available and give them access to them, to yourself, and whether that's physically or just, energetically, okay? And this is the thing. Access is something that should be earned, okay? Access to your energy. I mean, I'm not just talking about the boinky boinky. I'm talking about your energy, your presence. Your presence. Michaela, I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example of what access can mean sometimes, okay? Access is, applies not just to romantic relationships, it applies to friendships as well, okay? I had a friend, quote unquote, who put me in a pretty awkward predicament several months ago, and it had to do with my boundaries and disrespect, and it was pretty uncomfortable. And at any rate, I made the decision that I didn't want to continue that friendship, okay? And so I told that person, I said, this, that, and the other, and, this is what's up. And the person messaged me back and said, well, I just want to make sure you're doing okay. And I did not answer, because when you lose access to my energy, you don't get to know whether I'm doing okay. That's something that my friends have access to. The people that I actually have ongoing friendships get to know whether I'm doing okay or not. If you don't have access to me, you don't get information about me. You don't know whether I'm doing okay. You don't know whether I'm sick. You don't know whether I'm well. You don't know whether I'm happy, sad, depressed. You don't get to know any of that stuff, all right? That's access, okay? And there's various levels of access. I get that, okay? But this person, both of these men, what they do have in common is they want access to you, and they don't want to basically pay admission, okay? They want a free ticket to a Taylor Swift concert. They want a free ticket to your inner world, okay? And that's something that is precious. There is a value to access into your inner world, your inner circle. There's a value to that. And I'm not saying that they owe you money to get into that, but what I'm saying is they've just, if this were me, they've just not given me any reason to feel like they get access, if this were me, into my world in any way. You don't get to know if I'm okay. We don't go out on dates. We don't talk on the phone. You don't kiss me. You don't boinky me. And we just don't talk. We don't flirt. All of that stuff, right? So, Michaela, remember I told you I think you might have a pattern? You might. And so here's something for you to think about. When we start to see patterns in our own life, because I'd be willing to bet that Ben and JB don't even know each other, right? They don't even know each other, probably, right? They're unrelated. And here's what's crazy, there's only one common denominator with both of these guys, and that's you. Does that mean you're a bad person or anything is wrong with you? Absolutely not, okay? But what it does tell you is that you've got some things going on energetically within you that causes you to subconsciously choose men who have a particular commonality in the way they treat you. And that is telling you something that's unhealed in your subconscious that's causing you to subconsciously choose this thing over and over and over again, possibly. All right? So that those patterns are actually helpful to us if we see them, okay? Because they help us to identify things, and then we know something, we're like, okay, I see a commonality here. What's going on here with this? What's going on with me? Why do I choose folks that do this, right? And then you start digging deep, and then you start doing shadow work, all right? Which, of course, I have a lot of stuff on Patreon. I don't know if you're on the Patreon or not. If not, it might be worth your time to get into some shadow work exercises, all right? And in doing those, you'll have what we call breakthroughs, where you realize, this is why I do this, right? That happens. I actually work with people one-on-one, and I had one had a breakthrough, a couple nights ago, yesterday or day before, and said, I realize what's been wrong with my love life for the last however many years. This is why, right? And you can find those things, and once you find those things, then you know what your issue is, and you can fix it. All right? So I hope that helps, Michaela. I thank you so much for booking with me, and hopefully this has given you some insight and some clarity. All right? Hey, Deja Vu, how you doing? Good to see everybody. Girly, I hope you've been doing good. Oh, you going to work. I don't know if you can still hear me, Birdie. Girly, but I hope you have a good night. That's right, Jesse. There you go. You lose me, the only way you get access to me is by buying a ticket to one of my shows. Jesse's a musician, so literally, right? So there we go. Belladonna, I hope you're doing good. All right. Thank you. I should look into shadow work, yeah. Are you on my mailing list, Michaela? Because I sent out a perk today for a percentage off your first month membership. Patreon is so cheap. There's like over 50-something videos on there about shadow work and what to do, what it is, how to approach it, etc., etc. So I'd really encourage you to avail yourself of that. And if you need a boost on that thing, book an appointment, right? Oh, wow, Birdie, thank you for the feedback. Look at there. There you go. There you go. All right, let's see who's up next. Frank is up next. All right. Oh, this is Francesca. Okay. Good, Deja Vu. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let's timestamp for Frank. Let's timestamp for Frank. Frank is a Taurus. Frank is a Taurus. And, oh my gosh, Frank, where are you? Frank, you have my daughter's birthday. That is so cool. So Frank is asking for a general love reading. And so we will definitely do that for you, Frank. Is there a specific situation that you're dealing with, or you just want to know in general what to expect in love, or what's going on with love, or if you have any challenges, what those might be? I can look at it a number of different ways, Frank. I'll just see what we can find out for you in general, what you need to know about love. What does Frank need to know about romance? What does Frank need to know about romance? Frank the Taurus. Does Frank the Taurus need to know about romance? What does Frank the Taurus need to know about love and romance? What does Frank the Taurus need to know about love and romance? What does Frank the Taurus need to know about love and romance? What does Frank the Taurus need to know about love and romance? What does Frank the Taurus need to know about love and romance? What does Frank the Taurus need to know about love and romance? What does Frank the Taurus need to know about love and romance? Frank, Artemis, you're fixing to get blocked. All right. You're in. Why are you in here asking for financial support? This, you know, go to the United Way if you need help. All right, Artemis. All right. All right. Frank, here's what I'm picking up. I'm picking up that your life is on hold right now. Your love life is on hold right now. Okay. And I kind of think that you've got some history with someone, and I kind of think that you are very, very invested in something that is not working. Okay. And it's very heavy on you. It's very burdening. I think you are carrying a lot more energy than you have to with the Ten of Wands here. And I don't know that the other person is, all right? In fact, I just think you've got some baggage from the past that is big, big holding you back, okay? Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, Six of Cups in the reverse, okay? Ace of Pentacles in the reverse, Ten of Wands in the upright, okay? And High Priestess even, all right? It could be that you're not even in contact with this person that you're carrying energy for, okay? And that may be something that is holding you back from experiencing romance in the way that you would like it, okay? If there is a specific individual that is in your past, and I literally do get that, okay? I literally do get that. I get that you may be a little bit fixated on one person, and I don't think that that person is necessarily on the same page as you are, okay, about wanting something, all right? And I think being fixated on that one person is holding you back from other opportunities, all right? I really do. And so, you know, I think that that's going to be your main challenge in experiencing love like you would like. You know, it's okay to want romantic love, okay? And it's even okay to want that with a certain person, but also sometimes you can't have both. You can have romantic love, but not with this person. All right. So I absolutely feel like you can find romantic love. I just don't think that the person that you're fixated on or that you're carrying energy about is going to bring that to the table. I think what you're going to have to do is to be able to release the idea that that's your only option that you want. Okay. Because you're going to come up short and you're not going to get in what you're actually wanting with this person. Can you have it? Yes. But I don't think it exists with the person that is in your energy right now that you're kind of fixated on. All right. So that's what I got, Frank. That's what I'm picking up for you. And I hope that helps you. I think perhaps it might be time to do some work to release this. And that's what I got. That's what I got. Hey, Carissa, how you doing? Yes, shadow work is about individuation, self-actualization. It is working on the subconscious and integrating the parts of ourselves that we have hidden from ourselves, right? So it actually can get pretty deep, right? But I hope that helps, Frank. I do appreciate you for booking, and I hope that at least has cleared up or given you some clarity and maybe some insight into if you're having some challenges around romance. Maybe that'll be helpful for you. All right. All right. Give me just a minute, y'all. Give me just a minute. I'm going to get my oracles out because we've got folks that have booked for oracle advice. So, all right, here we go. Here we go. All right. Next up is we have Marsha. And Marsha is a Capricorn. Marsha is a Capricorn. And Marsha had rotator cuff surgery 10 weeks ago. Been working from home for the last 8 weeks. Hey Frank, how you doing? You can rewind it about 10 minutes. Go back about 10 minutes and you'll catch it. Okay. All right. So, I'm sorry, Marsha. I had rotator cuff surgery 10 weeks ago. I've been working from home for the last 8 weeks after taking the first 2 weeks off. If my doctor extends my work from home to sometime in September, will the big boss be ready to get rid of me or be angry? So let's see what we can find out for you. Let's see what we can find out for you, love. Let's see how this big boss will react to if the doctor extends Marsha's work from home order. How will the big boss react to that if there is an extension? If there is an extension, if there is an extension, if there is an extension from the doctor on this work from home, how will the big boss see that? How will the big boss feel toward Marsha? How will the big boss feel toward Marsha? They can't do it legally, but they do it all the time, Carissa. You're talking to somebody who used to be in behind closed doors with the big wheels, okay? They do it all the time. They just find ways to make it legal. So Marsha has a legitimate concern. You're right, it is illegal, but good luck proving it because you'll never prove it. So they do whatever they want. Let's see. Let's see how this big boss might react if there's an extension on this work from home. Let's see how the big boss might react if there is an extension. There she is. Hey, Marsha. Death reversed. Knight of Swords in the reverse, Temperance in the reverse. He is going to be upset. He's going to question the doctor, okay? He does want you to come back in the office. That's why the Death card is here in the reverse. He's going to question whether the doctor is legit with the Knight of Swords in the reverse and the Moon in the upright. And he's going to be upset with the Temperance in the reverse. He's going to start scrutinizing your every move. Page of Swords, Queen of Cups in reverse. And what that translates to, Marcia, is him looking for a reason. So I would worry if that happens. Yeah, King of Wands in reverse. He's not going to let you know the real reason. But he's going to start looking until he finds a reason. And they will when they do that. They absolutely will when they find a reason. They'll look until they find something. So, yeah. Your gut on this thing, Marcia, is spot on. It is spot on. He'll look for a reason and he'll find one. And if he can't find one, he'll create one. Literally, that's what I'm getting. He's going to assume that doctor is or that there's someone is not being honest, either the doctor or you or whatever. That's what I got. That's what I got, Marcia. So, yeah. Wow, Jesse. Yes, I think so, Marcia. I absolutely think so. I think it would behoove you to start circling the wagons on finding other employment. Well, here's the thing. And I get where you're coming from, Joseph, because in theory we are protected by laws, but it just, it takes sometimes years for that stuff to settle out. And in the meantime, Marcia got to pay the bills in those years that she's waiting on that. Because I know I've been on the other side of, I've been on the corporate side of fighting against employees on EEO claims, okay? And, employers will drag that shit out for years, and they can. Right. I know, Carissa. I know. But yeah, forewarned is forearmed. I would definitely start circling the wagons, love bug. And what the goal is, see, they can afford to drag it out because they, and they would, because they've got attorneys that are usually on staff, and they can afford to drag it out and make it take forever. And the goal is, the reason they drag those out, the goal is to wear people like you and me and Marcia down. Well, that's another thing, That's another thing is the stress involved, is it even worth it? Because, I've had situations where I could have definitely had legal action against employers, and it's just like, whatever. Right. You're welcome. And Hey, Steph, how you doing? But that's what I got, love, and I hope that helps. All right, next up is Naomi. Hey, Kristen, how you doing? Your work day is over. That's time for celebration right there. All right, here we go. So Naomi, Capricorn. Oh, this is Girly. Hey, Girly, what you doing? You still here, Girly? She says, what do I need to know? Girly, if you're here, tell me if you want something specific or you want something general, because we can do either way. We can do either way. Or if you want this tailored more toward a love general or an overall general, we can do whatever you want. You just tell me, love, and while you tell me, I'm going to get a sip of my tea. Your work day will be starting soon. I gotcha. Good. I'm glad it does help you, girl. I'm glad it does help you, Marcia. And by the way, Marcia, I hope that your recovery goes smoothly, my love. They're not wrong. Orthopedic surgery, especially rotator cuff. Whew, girl. Whatever I feel. I got you, girlie. I got you, my friend. Let's see what we got. What does my friend Girlie, aka Naomi, need to know in general? Naomi the Capricorn, what does she need to know in general? What does she need to know in general? What does Girlie need to know in general? What does Girlie need to know in general? What does Girlie need to know in general? Eee. See, my people are so sweet. Look at y'all. Y'all are so sweet. All right. What does Girlie the Capricorn need to know in general? Does Girlie need to know in general? Girlie the Capricorn. What does Girlie the Capricorn need to know in general? Give me a general message for Girlie. Naomi the Capricorn. Naomi the Capricorn, what does she need to know in general? Girlie, Naomi, I think this is around people around you. This could be friends or family that are around you. I don't get this being a love reading. But what I do absolutely feel is that be careful, because I think you have some friends around you that are pretty solid, friends or family. I think you have support. This is a support system, and it could be friends and or family, okay? I think there are people in your support system that are solid. And I think there may be one that may placate you a little bit or tell you what they think you want to hear. And I don't think they are as helpful as you might think or hope or wish, okay? And it could even be that they mean well, okay? But, well, I just don't even get that, Five of Swords. It could be that you've got somebody around you that, whether you know it or not, might be a little bit of a jealous hater. Okay, again, this could be a friend or family member, okay? And I think this person may be more inclined to work against you than for you. Now, you've got some people that are around you that are solid. They're solid, okay? But if there is someone around you that you've got a question mark about, pay attention to that, okay? Because I kind of get the impression that there are times where you get this gut feeling around this one specific, oh, look at there. We done nailed it. I know who it is. Here's what I think. Naomi, here's what I think, girlie. I think that you can't put your finger on it, and you can't really concrete, say, well, they did this, this, and this. I don't think you can necessarily get the specifics, but it's just the vibe that you get from this person, and it's like you can't put your finger on it, right? And I think that's what makes you struggle with this, because I think whether you realize this or not, Naomi, I think this is your intuition. And look, we all go against our intuition, or we'll question it. And I think you may be in this energy of questioning whether your gut is right whenever you can't see something concrete in its work. It's work, yes, family. Then I think, I think sometimes if we can't if we can't see something concrete, right, then sometimes we'll be like, oh, I'm just being silly. This is a case where my cards are saying you're not being silly. Okay, and I'm not saying to cut this person out. That's a you question, okay? And it depends on the specifics. But what I can absolutely tell you is be cautious around this person. Be cautious around this person. If you don't cut them out completely, be cautious around this person, for sure. And I would even go so far as to limit my time around this person, okay? Your gut is telling you things for a reason, all right? And sometimes it's so hard for us to believe your gut, because I think this is in your gut. I don't think you've got specifics on this. I may be wrong, but I think this is more a gut feeling. Your gut is right. And that's what I'm picking up on this thing. You don't, Carissa, you don't always know when people have envious feelings towards you, but sometimes you'll pick it up. Sometimes, people will intuitively pick it up that something is off. You'll just feel something is weird about this, right? And you won't be able to put your finger on exactly what it is, right? But, Naomi, the good news is you've got some people around you that are solid. And that's the good news. That's the good news. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I'm like y'all. There's no such thing as a friend of me. You're either a friend or you're not in my world. You're either a friend or you don't exist. Because when I find out you're not a friend, then I nothing you. And there are a couple people in this world that know that. Yeah, I don't, after it's over, it's like you don't exist. I nothing them. I don't have a grudge. I don't have a feeling. I don't have a thing. I just keep moving. Yeah. But if it's in a work situation, sometimes you can't always do that. Sometimes you still have to interact with them, but you can definitely limit that for sure. As far as, opening up to people. Work is changing, so people will be changing. That might be a blessing, girlie. That might be a blessing. I hope that helped you. I hope that helped you, girlie. Carissa says some people are not really good with listening to that intuition. Here's the thing. Here's what strengthens your ability to both hear and listen to your intuition. Your intuition comes from your subconscious. That's where the intuition comes from. That's where the divine gives us these little nudges, right? These intuitive nudges. And how to clear a path there? Shadow work. That's how you clear that path. Oh, I love you too. Thank you for that. Thank you for booking a reading with me, Love Bug. I appreciate you. But that's how to clear the path for all of your spiritual gifts, not just your intuition, but everything. That's how to do that. Because otherwise you get weeds on that path and you don't really have that clear channel. I actually don't subscribe to that philosophy, Belladonna. I don't. I really don't. A lot of people like that, and it's a convenient phrase, but I could drive Mack trucks through it. See, here's the thing. I love everyone, period. Even if they have we all have a bad side. We absolutely all have a bad side. I love everyone. But there are people that don't get access to me. That's the difference. That's the difference. All right. Yes. See there? Exactly. All right. Next up is Martha. And Martha has paid for an oracle reading and yet asked a question despite seeing otherwise all over the place. So Martha, we are going to pull oracles for you because, baby, that is what you have paid for. All right. All right. What do the oracles have to say to Martha? What do the oracles have to say to Martha? What do the oracles have to say to Martha? What do the oracles have to say to Martha? Emotions are running high. And here's why this is important. Because when your emotions are running high, they can cause you to make decisions based on your emotions. And you should never make decisions based on your emotions. Emotions are fun and well and good. And we honor our emotions. They are never wrong. Your feelings are never wrong. All right? But when emotions are running high is the wrong time to make decisions, okay? The wrong time to make decisions. All right, so let's see what comes out from the cat oracle deck for you, Martha. What advice is coming out for you from the cat? Embrace the unknown. Embrace the unknown. And let's be honest, we have no guarantees ever, okay? So just learn to be comfortable not knowing things and embracing the unknown and living in the moment and making the most of the moment, all right? Making the most of every moment with what you have before you, all right? So those are the advice oracles that you got, Martha. And thank you for booking an advice spread. All right. So next up is Christina. All right. All right, so Christina is a Virgo and her boyfriend is a Cancer. Let's see what we've got here. All right, he told me he plans the future with me. He says so many plans, kids, marriage, traveling, and his actions show this also. But he said he is not so happy because I'm stressing a lot, lost my job. I don't know if he will keep up. I feel he is the one. He says also, will we be married? So let's see what the future holds between you, the Virgo, and this Cancer. Let's take a look and see what we can see here. And in actuality, Christina, this is actually a good thing to go through now instead of after you get married, okay? Because your job loss is, justifiably creating pressure on this connection, all right? It's creating pressure on you. It's creating pressure on this connection. And it's kind of a good test for the connection to see if the connection is going to be able to withstand challenging times. Because trust and believe, if you marry a person, there's going to be challenging times. And what you've got to see if the connection has the wherewithal to deal with that. All right? So let's take a look at what the connection looks like going forward between you two. How will things go ultimately between Christina the Virgo and this Cancer? How will things go ultimately between these two? How will things go ultimately between these two? How do things look going forward? How do things look going forward? How do things look going forward for these two? How do things look going forward between Christina, the Virgo, and her Cancer boyfriend? What is the future between these two? What is the future between these two? What is the future between these two? What is the future between Christina, the Virgo, and her Cancer boyfriend? What is the future between these two? 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 Ten of Swords in the reverse, Six of Cups in the reverse, Nine of Swords, Queen of Swords in the reverse. Okay, here's what I get. In general, I get you guys staying together and not being happy together, being miserable together. So I don't know if you guys will get married necessarily. I don't see a breakup. I do not see a marriage either, okay? But I just see you guys kind of staying together. And here's what I think the issue is, all right? Here's what I think the problem, here's what makes you two so unhappy. Buried anger and buried resentment, okay? And that is the problem. Does that mean he's angry at you? I think you're the recipient and the brunt of that. And instead of dealing with anger in a healthy way, he tends to repress it and then create problems, and withdrawal, and that leaves you in this Nine of Swords energy where you feel like something's wrong with you and you've done something wrong. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors in this connection where there's not a lot of good communication, all right? There's not a lot of healthy communication. And that leaves a lot of questions, and then that can feed into fears, and that can really do a number with your mind, all right? So there's a lot of repressed anger in general that at least one of you has, if not both of you, all right? And I think that is a lot of the problem, all right? Here's the thing. He's blaming his unhappiness on you. His unhappiness is on him. You can't make him happy, and that is not your responsibility. You cannot make another human being happy. No one can make another human being happy. If they're unhappy on the inside, they're going to be unhappy. And the same is true on your side, okay? So I see both of you putting a lot of responsibility on each other. You look to each other to make you happy, and when you're not happy, it's the other person's fault, and that's just bullshit. But we often don't see that, okay? And so I kind of feel like this thing, you guys both have a lot of issues inside of both of you where you're not happy. And what you ultimately look like you're doing to me is coming together into a relationship hoping to change that, and it doesn't change that, and you're kind of wondering why, and that's why. So that's what I see here. I don't see you guys getting married. I don't. I have nothing around marriage. I don't even have love. I've got a lot of lack of authenticity. I've got the reason that you guys hold on to each other is because you're both afraid of being alone and clingy and needy of another person. Okay? And that's what solidifies you two, is loneliness. And guess what happens when two lonely people come together? They feel lonely. If you've ever been lonely in a room full of people, you understand this. Okay? You got to solve a loneliness problem on the inside first. And so this looks like an unhappy connection overall, because the two people individually coming towards each other to begin with walked into this thing with a lot of baggage and unhappy on the inside to begin with. All of this is going to require you to do shadow work individually outside of this connection, without this connection as a distraction. Because even if you decide, even if you guys go your separate ways, you'll have the same experience with a new person. You'll repeat it. You'll have a pattern. And that's what we often see with that, Christina. So that's what I got. And I hope that gives you some clarity, love. That's what I see here. That's what I see, girl. And I hope that helps you. All right. I see. Can we change this if we work on ourselves? Well, okay. Here's what I think about that. Not together. No. I think if you break up and go your separate ways and completely cut ties and you work on yourself, then you can change what you experience in the future. Now, can you have any control over what he does? No, you cannot. And but it's not a joint thing. Inner work is an individual thing that is best done when you are not in a distraction of a relationship, and it is absolutely counterproductive to inner work to be in a romantic relationship, period. All right, that's what I got. And I hope that helps you, love. So you can. My advice to you would be, in this connection, this is the thing, and I even touched on this before, this is actually good that this happened before you got married, because what you saw was an unhealthy connection and how that connection reacts whenever stress is put on it. Every connection is going to have challenges and stress throughout the life of that connection. And if a connection is strong and the two people that come together are strong, then they can weather those storms like job loss. But if you've got a connection that is, built on shifting sand, okay, then, that will fold, and you're absolutely seeing that. So this is actually helpful, because that's going to keep you from getting into a marriage where it's just fraught with unhappiness. So this is actually a good thing that you're seeing this now. All right. I know, baby. I know it's hard, Christina. And let me just say this. You absolutely deserve to have a long-term, happy, healthy, fulfilling romantic connection. And that is not a bad thing to want, okay? That is not a bad thing to want. So I don't at all fault you for being sad, and I don't fault you for wanting that. But I just say that, and you can have that. Okay, Christina, that is entirely something that you can one day achieve. But I don't think you're going to achieve a long-term, happy, healthy, fulfilling connection with this person. You know, a lot of times when we come together with people, we come together and there's not a lot of pressure on each other. But then you face the inherent storms of life, and that's when things sometimes fall apart. And I think that's what you're seeing here, baby girl. And so I absolutely, I know it's hard and I know it hurts. And I don't want you to ever think that I am dismissive of that, because I'm not. But at the same time, I want you to have something that is happy and is loving and nurturing and healthy, and that is strong to withstand the inherent storms that life can sometimes bring, right? I hope that helps, Christina. Hey, Laura Boo. How you doing, Laura? Good to see you. All right, Joseph. I'm going to read for Joseph next. Give me 1 second, though. You just chilling? Good. Are you off tonight or are you working tonight, Laura? Oh, okay. I will do that. Okay. Give me 1 second. I have received instructions. So let me fix my list. Birdie, you're the best. All right. Sage the room. Joseph, you were such a mess. You were such a mess. You took tonight off. Good. You deserve it. All right, so Joseph, I know you're the non-Pisces Pisces. He even says, look, Joseph even writes, y'all, Joseph, the most air sign Pisces ever, if that ain't true words. Okay, love, let's see what we got. All right, so Joseph says, Joseph says, first, question whatever comes out for work and career. Second, my former colleague, Jacob, keeps coming to mind. Not sure if there was a true connection, whatever comes out. Thank you so much. Of course. Let's see what's up, my air sign Pisces. Let's see. What is coming out for work? Job, money, work and career. Job, work and career for Joseph. Work and career for Joseph. What does Joseph need to know around work and career? What does Joseph need to know about work and career? What does Joseph need to know about work and career? Work and career for Joseph, please. Give me work and career for Joseph. Work and career for Joseph, the air sign. Work and career for Joseph, please. Work and career for Joseph. Work and career for Joseph. Work and career, please, for Joseph. Work and career 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 for Joseph. All right. the Hierophant, the Star. What's opening up for you at work, Joseph? Do you know about this? Are you sensing that something is about to open up for you in the area of career that's pretty doggone amazing? What is this? You got Joseph, there's the tables are turning in your workplace in the best of ways. There's a major shift energetically at work. There's some patterns that are going to be breaking, okay? Possibly some toxic work practices that are exposed, examined, and done away with. There are things that have kept you stuck. Those things have kept you stuck, okay? Those unhealthy work practices, okay? Or it's an unhealthy environment. This may be a person that's a doo-doo head. Okay, it could be unhealthy work practices, or it could be a doo-doo head that's an unhealthy person that you work with, okay? That's going to be exposed. And I kind of feel like I'm going to tell you what I'm seeing here, Joseph. I think you are going to possibly be in line for some sort of a bump up as far as a promotion goes. And there's a lot of unknowns around that. And what I get as far as advice to tell you is that you need to know who the hell you are, and you are capable, all right? And you absolutely remain optimistic and believe in yourself, and take the leap of faith. Take the leap of faith that is here, okay? And there are going to be unknowns. I'm telling you what I see here. There are going to be unknowns, okay? And you might have the inclination to take a step back and say, am I capable? And I want you to have optimism and faith in yourself, okay? Because I absolutely get that this is not where you're going to, even this move up that I'm predicting for you in this thing is not the end of move ups for you. It's a stepping stone, and you're going to look at even this as a big leap. You're going to see it that way, and that's fair, okay? But there's more leaps in your future. You're climbing a ladder. You're climbing a ladder. And so take the step. You might not see the top of the staircase, but if you can see the first step or two, go on and step on it and keep moving. Keep it moving. Yes, definitely more optimism. Because I feel like there's going to be a major shift in your workplace. Do I feel like this is a new job per se? I do not. I think this is right where you are. And so, yeah, there will be money involved, of course. There's major growth. And I also get this. Another thing I'm getting for you. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there and express your thoughts, your opinions, and take a stand. And what's the right word I'm looking for? Maybe even advocate for yourself, but it's more of don't be afraid. Here's what it is. Don't be afraid to shine. Okay? Because that's what's going to set you apart, okay? I get the impression that you have like a lot of capability that is maybe even unknown to the people around you, okay? And you're going to have the opportunity to shine. And the thing I don't want you to struggle with, let me tell you a word that I've been hearing while I've been reading for this: imposter syndrome, okay? You're absolutely being put in this role because you can do it and you are the guy for the job. Optimism breeds confidence and opportunity. There you go. There you go. Hey, Ann David, how you doing? I got your booking, baby. I'm going to change up. I'm going to add you to the list in just a minute, babes. But that's what I see, Joseph, as far as work and career. I'm pretty excited, Joseph. I think there's been some changes around there since you and I last talked about your job, and I'm excited. I'm excited for the changes that I see. I don't think it was ever bad, but I think it's going to be way better than what we saw. All right? So I'm excited about your work. I'm excited about your work, you air sign. All right. Let's look at your other question, Jacob. So now is Jacob a Joseph, let me know this. Is Jacob a possible, you're thinking that might be a possible work? I mean, you're thinking that might be a possible romance thing? Let me know. Joseph, I'm going to tell you something else that I saw that I need to share with you. Yes, definitely better energies. I'm going to share something that I saw with you that I would not be shocked to see happen. Somebody or something is going to be exposed for their bullshit. I don't know who it is or what it is, but there is something that is going to come out. Never hung out outside of work, okay? But something is going to be exposed. Possible romance, okay? But something at your work is going to be exposed, I do believe. And I think that's going to lead to some changes. So there you go. So let's take a look at Jacob. Let's take a look at Jacob toward Joseph. What's going on with Jacob? Give me the energies around Jacob. Give me the energies around Jacob, please. Give me the energies around Jacob. Give me the energies around Jacob. Give me the energies around Jacob. The energies around Jacob. Give me the energies around Jacob as it relates to Joseph. Give me the energy around Jacob as it relates to Joseph. Sounds like we're talking about Old Testament people, doesn't it? Tell me the energies around Jacob as it relates to Joseph. You're welcome. You are welcome. You're absolutely welcome. You're going to keep me posted, Joseph. You know that. Tell me about Jacob as it relates to Joseph. Tell me about Jacob as it relates to Joseph. Page of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, Page of Wands. He's attracted to you. He's attracted to you. If you've not heard from him, you very well may. I've got communication from this person. You know, it's kind of interesting. He likes the friendship that you had as well. I think he found the friendship refreshing, and I think even the coworker thing, I think he respects you in that way, but he does find you attractive. He absolutely does. Page of Wands. There's some attraction there. I would not be shocked if you didn't hear from this or have some sort of communication coming from this person toward you. Give me more. Give me more on this thing. No contact for a while. There's energy here for him to reach out. Gosh! He thinks so highly of you. He thinks so highly of you. He's gonna circle this block all day long. All right. I get him coming towards you. I think he wants something. I think you guys may. I think this may. He's definitely going to revisit this. He's got so much regard for you. I kind of feel like, yeah. Here's the thing I want to caution you about, Joseph. Here's what I get. I think this person, I think you're not crazy. This person was attracted to you and is and still thinks about you. I would not be shocked if you didn't hear from this guy. I might, you said I don't mind platonic. I might encourage you to do that, to stay platonic with this person. This person has some baggage that could, affect something romantically. All right. So I would say this. First of all, you're not crazy. There was mutual attraction here. Second of all, he thinks so highly of you. Third, he is attracted to you. Fourth, I think there's a good chance that he will reach out to you and potentially try to pursue something romantically. I would say this, that romantic road, be careful about, all right? I think he means well. I think I see him really coming towards you, but I see also a lot of baggage, okay? And so I just say this, you might be well to keep it platonic. I think, Joseph, what may happen is if you're in a platonic friendship with this person, I think that over time you'll start to see. Because that stuff does surface. That stuff absolutely surfaces. And you'll see it. And then you'll know. That's what I got, Joseph. I hope that helped you. Emma, you're cracking me up. The shittiest Allen wrench ever, but job done. I hate those Allen wrenches. I hate them. It's like, just give me a regular screw. I've got electronic screwdrivers, and drills that have screwdriver bits on it. It's like, just give me an electronic screwdriver. It'll save me a lot of time. But no, you got to sit there with that fucking Allen wrench and twist it around, right? You're welcome, Joseph. You're welcome. I'm glad that helped you, Joseph. Thank you for booking. I appreciate you, Joseph. You're somebody that I always like to see in my chats because you're very, it's nice having you as a part of the Cottage family for sure. All right, so Gizm has paid for an oracle reading. And so let's pull oracles for Gizm. All right. Hey, life is beautiful. How you doing? All right, so give me oracle advice. Give me one oracle from Moonology. I never thought of that, Birdie. I never thought of that. See, this is why I'm not a man. Let's see. Give me an oracle for Gizm, the Pisces. Give me an oracle for Gizm, the Pisces. What does Gizm need to know from Moonology? What does Gizm need to know from Moonology? Hold your vision. So make sure that you stay on course and don't let people, places, or things distract you from your goals, your dreams, your plans. Keep your eye on the prize, and that should always be on your spiritual ascension as well. That should be one of your main goals. So stay on task as far as your ascension journey. Hold your vision. Remember what's important and focus on that. All right, now let's go to the cat oracles. Let's take a look at what advice comes from the cat oracles. Self-care. So what you're getting advice to ramp up your self-care, all right, and take care of yourself and do things that bring your heart joy, grounding, getting out in nature, ramping up your meditation, making sure you're taking care of your physical body with getting enough rest, eating adequately, getting out and being active, grounding yourself, getting out in nature. Those are the things that are coming out for you, Gizm, as far as your advice from the oracles, okay? So just a reminder to ramp up on the self-care, all right? And that is actually going to help you hold your vision. If you're taking care of yourself, then you can go after your goals, all right? So I hope that helps. I hope that helps. How far will you travel for with tools for a home cooked meal? Because I will make you a home cooked meal if you'll do my man stuff. I'm just kidding. I have a handyman, kind of. I cook for him too, though. That's his payment too. It's funny. My guy does work for home cooked meals too, Birdie. That's funny. It's hilarious. All right. Good for you, Deja Vu. Good for you. Emma is up next. Let's see what we got. Give me 1 second, Emma. All right. Here's my cards. A honeydew list, that's just like, things that we, man chores, like, fix this, put this together, stuff like that, right? All right, let me timestamp for you, Emma. All right, so Emma, of course, is a Capricorn, my beautiful Capricorn friend. Libra moon, Scorpio, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and rising. Love for September. Let's see what we got for you, beautiful. Let's see what we got for the beautiful Emma for love for September. How does September look for Emma around romance? How does September look for Emma around romance? How does September look for Emma for romance? How does September look for romance for the beautiful Emma the Capricorn? How does September romance look for Emma? What's that about? Here's what I get, Emma. I don't think September is going to be a month of romance per se. September looks to be a month focused on two things, work and introspection. Work and introspection. All right. I think several things ago, I absolutely see work being more of your focus than connection. All right. What I absolutely feel like is that there is some introspection here. Okay. I think. Emma, I'm going to talk to you a minute. Auntie Karen wants to talk to you, love bug. Pull up a chair. Here's what I think. You know, Emma, I feel like I know you a little bit because I've been reading for you, right? And I've grown to love you, by the way. I think what it looks like to me is that you've got an accumulation of potentials that have crossed your path that have had an effect on you. Okay. Well, I think it's time to peek at those cobwebs and tumbleweeds. I think that's what you're going to be doing. Okay. If you navigate this thing, I think that's kind of what you're being called to do. And let's just talk about it. I don't think that individually, you know, these romantic connections that have crossed your path, okay? I don't think individually you have fallen for them and you've given them your heart and all that kind of stuff. Now, I know you've got that one that, you know, did that number on you. I get that. But I think there's been a lot of others that have crossed your path, okay, that have been less than what you were looking for, that just didn't meet your standards. And I think the accumulation of that is getting to you. I think the accumulation of that is getting to you. And so I kind of feel like it is a time of reflection in September and maybe a little bit of a time out from romance. And I kind of feel like that's prudent on your part, is to do a little bit of introspection and maybe do some little inner work. I don't think this is something that's going to be the next 6 months for you, Emma. I think this is just some maintenance work. It's kind of like when your car goes in for an oil change. You're not going to be there forever. Okay, I just think you do some internal work around that. And I think you kind of maybe even look at your approach to dating, how you're approaching dating. You may approach it differently. There's a lot of us doing that, by the way, Emma. And so I think that, you know, I think the accumulation of the romance yuckies is had a bit of an effect on you. Okay. And I think it's time to take a time out, do some self-care, do a little inner work. That's going to help you as far as when you do put yourself out there, okay, you're going to be in a better place. So I don't think September is a romance month. I think September is a work and inner work month. You're in Delulu. That's what I think for September. So I don't see anything crossing your path in September. I kind of feel like, hey, Melissa, I'm going to be real with you, Emma. I feel like there is a trusted person around you that is going to provide you some guidance. I think you're going to go to someone for some guidance. I don't know if that's somebody that's older than you, just somebody that you feel like you have more respect for. Could even be that you work with therapists a little bit. Okay, I get you kind of doing some inner work and focusing on yourself, and maybe working, or you know, either informally or formally, looking to someone that you respect for guidance. That's what I feel. That's what I feel, and that's not a bad thing. And I mean, Emma, sometimes being off, you know, taking a time out for a week or two will do wonders for you as far as just feeling better and feeling more optimistic, right? So that's what I got. Melissa, how have you been? It's good to see you. But that's what I got, Emma Boo, and I hope that helps you. You do have a therapist. That's great. That's great. I feel like you are going to probably avail yourself of some good guidance, like we talked about, you know. Birdie, Emma, do you have my email? You need a year. That's fair. You know what I love about you, Emma? You know what I think is amazing? Is that you're not afraid of doing inner work. And I know that. I know you do inner work. I mean, it doesn't shock me at all that you see a therapist, because I can tell you have a lot of self-awareness. And just the fact that you know this about yourself, that's huge. It may not be a year, though, but you'll know. You'll know. I would say this, Emma, if I could give you a piece of advice on that, on setting a time frame, here's my advice to you. Don't tell yourself a year. Just say, as long as it takes. As long as it takes. And if that's 6 months, or if that's 14 months. Because sometimes it's hard to know. Because I'll be honest, sometimes you think you need a longer time out than you need. Sometimes you need a shorter time out than you need, or a longer time out, right? So I say this, don't put a time frame on it, but you'll know. You'll know. Oh, so Emma, if you don't have my email address, I'll put it here for you. I want you to shoot me an email. I'm going to give you a free month on Patreon. And you can, and that Patreon shadow work stuff will go hand in hand, hopefully, with what you're doing with your therapist. So, I know, I agree, Bertie. He says you have to love people who realize what they need and do the work. Admirable qualities. I absolutely respect that. I absolutely have so much respect for that. So, Emma, just keep doing what you're doing, because you're doing great things, and I'm proud of you. Hey, Jessica, how you doing? I am so super proud of you, Emma. Really proud of you. More than I can put into words. People like you, Emma, are why I like doing what I do. That's why I do what I do. Yes, I love tarot, and I love being able to uncover truths and such. But what I really love is when people are doing things to make them bring about, positive life experiences, right? Thank you, as always, Emma. And that's fair. That's fair. That is absolutely fair. But email me, Emma, and because what I'll do is I'll give you a free month. I'll give you a code for a free month, okay? And but it may be tomorrow, Emma. Tomorrow, maybe even tomorrow evening, like another 24 hours from now, because I know it's a different time where you are. But what I'm going to say is it may take me about 24 hours to get back to you. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can, but I will get back to you. But sometimes I get busy during the day, but I promise you, Emma, I'm going to give you a month on Patreon. And I want you to delve into my shadow work stuff. All right? That's what I got. There we go. Yep, she's getting her Allen wrench back out, and she's going to go to work on herself, right? There you go. Love yourself as much as you want to be loved. Start with that. And I know you work on that. I know you know that, Emma. But yeah. And I hope that helps you, love bug. All right, Ms. Laura. Laura is up next. And Laura, if you're here, I need your question, love bug. Yes, you love people, you love yourself, and you demonstrate how you expect to be loved. You show people how to love you by loving yourself, right? Allen keys are in the bin. That's so funny. Good deal, beautiful. Thank you, Emma. Love you, baby. Appreciate you. Laura, you are the cutest thing ever. You are precious, Laura. All right. Tell me the good, the bad, and the ugly about Michael. Michael the Leo. The good, the bad, and the ugly. What about Laura? Please, Laura, please tell me this is not the Roomba. Hey, hi, hello, hey. I know it's not. I'm just teasing you. All right, tell me about Michael the Leo. Love you too, Emma. Tell me about Michael the Leo. Tell me about Michael the Leo as he approaches Miss Laura. Tell me about Michael the Leo as he approaches Miss Laura. Oh, Carissa, it's a joke. It's a funny joke. With Laura's permission, I'll share it. Tell me about Michael the Leo as he approaches Laura. Tell me about Michael the Leo as he approaches Laura. Laura, he likes attention. 6 of Wands in reverse. He will not be ignored. Mr. Leo likes attention. That doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing, okay? But, yeah. Let's see about Michael the Leo. Michael the Leo. Michael the Leo. Tell me about Michael the Leo as he approaches Laura. Tell me about Michael the Leo. I got you, Laura. I will after I read for you. Tell me about Michael the Leo. Tell me about, yes, you do, Jesse. It's great. Tell me about Michael the Leo as he approaches Miss Laura. Okay. Why that? Why that? Okay, here's what I got. Overall, as a person, I like Michael the Leo. And I get Michael the Leo being very romantic and thoughtful. And also, the timing is off for Michael the Leo. I think the timing is off with Michael the Leo. All right? Michael the Leo is in a rush to... because he's in a rush, whether you know it or not. There's a third party. Do I think he's a cheater? No, I don't. The third party is the ex that he's not over and that he actually wants back. So the timing sucks with this guy. Is what I got with the Wheel of Fortune here in the reverse. He's going to absolutely open up to you, all right? But at the same time, he's got walls around his heart. He's got walls around his heart. And I don't think he means to. I don't think he's even aware of it, Laura. But he's not over an ex at all. Yeah, and as such, here's the issue: King of Wands in reverse. You're coming in as the Empress. Does that mean he's an asshole? No, I don't think that's what that means. Not in this case. What I think this means is he's got self-confidence issues and self-esteem issues. You thought that he was rushing. There you are. Yeah, he's in a hurry. He doesn't like being alone, Laura, at all. He's not comfortable being single. I've even got the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, which can sometimes speak to being too quick to want to change that relationship status, right? Sometimes that even speaks to desperate. But the Two of Swords is here in the upright, and that can suggest being torn between two people. And I got the Ace of Wands in the reverse. This could even be a false start if you let it be. I think he thinks so highly of you. He sees you. She left him and the kids. Oh my God. Oh my God. He sees you in a very positive light, Laura. He is well-meaning. It breaks my heart when I see people like this come through readings, okay? Because Laura, I think this is a good guy, but I think he will bleed on who didn't cut him and not mean to. Okay? He's one of those that he doesn't know what he doesn't know. Right? So I think that I think he's a hell of a guy that does not need to be in a relationship right now and doesn't realize that. He thinks the best solution is to get into a relationship, and I get that because that's, what a lot of people feel, whenever that happens. So here's what I would say. Here's what I would say to you, Laura, because I know you, and I know kind of how you roll. If you want to go meet with him or talk with him or whatever, I don't see any harm in that. What I do tell you is make sure that you leave your heart in the house for a good period of time, okay? Because, and I think knowing what I know about you, Laura, because I know you and I talk, right? Because I know you, I think you have the ability to keep those things separate. If I did not have that thought, then I would say stay home. Okay? Do I think he's a waste of time? It could turn out to be a friendship that is valuable, okay? Because I don't think this is a bad guy. I don't. I like this guy. I just don't like him for a romance partner for you. Does that make sense? So it just kind of depends on where you are and if you want to take the time to go and spend with this guy whenever we kind of both are seeing that he's not a potential romantic partner, right? And it just kind of depends on you and what you want to invest in this thing. I'll say that. Now, a third alternative, Laura, I don't know how long you've been talking to him. A third alternative would be if you can hold off on meeting him, but stay in communication with him and gather more data, as we call it, that way, then maybe that is something you might want to consider. But that's what I got, love bug. That's what I got. That's what I got. That's where you are in this thing. And I don't know where you are. Here's my thoughts about meeting people, okay? Meeting people, for me, I'm a busy girl, right? And so to go meet somebody, I got to feel pretty darn good about it because I'm a busy girl. I don't have a lot of time to go meet people unless I truly think that it's worth my time. So if I see anything that makes me wonder, then I'll be like, no, I don't want to meet you yet, but I will keep talking to you and just see, right? And if you can possibly do that, Laura, that might be the optimal route to go with this guy, at least in the short run. That's what I got. Now I'm going to tell the Roomba story, if that helps you, Laura. I think we've got you covered on that. And Bertie, you're so sweet. Thank you for that. But what I was going to tell you is Carissa had asked about the Roomba. Okay, I'm going to tell the Roomba story. So Laura is one of the most fun people that I hear from in my, because Laura's kind of inner circle. You know, Laura's been around for a long time, and she's kind of inner circle. And Laura will sometimes send me screenshots of interactions that she has with guys and potentials and stuff, and sometimes it's really just for laughs. And this is one of those times. She sent me a screenshot. Laura, over how many days were those? You know the one I'm talking, the Roomba. Would you say it was over a period of about 10 days to 2 weeks, or was it same day? I'm trying to remember. I may still have that screenshot on my phone that you sent to me. But it was about 10 to 12 messages from this guy. And she had not answered him back at all. He just kept double texting her. And all he would say was, hey, hi, hi, hey, hey, hi, hi, hey. And so I was laughing my butt off, and and Laura sent me the screenshot, and it was just like, what the fuck, right? So I took the screenshot and I put it into my AI, and my AI, I interact with my AI buddy a lot, right? And my AI said that this was a broken Roomba that just kept running into the same place over and over again, was just hung up, right? Homeboy just be talking to himself. Exactly. Longer, yeah. And it was like, and so we said, well, it's not a Roomba. It's like an off-brand Roomba. And that's what that became. So Laura acquired an off-brand generic Roomba, right, that was malfunctioning. And Laura, I don't know if you know this, but a couple of days after that, I had a guy, I should find this and see if I can send it to you. I had a guy that messaged me, good morning. And so I messaged him back, good morning. And the next day he messaged me back, good morning. And then I messaged him back, good morning. And so I sent it to my AI and I said, I have a Roomba, except my Roomba knows 2 words instead of 1. And so Laura got the off-brand Roomba, and I got like maybe a great value Roomba. And that's all this guy ever said to me was, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's like, why are you telling me good morning? So we have Roombas. So Laura, I have one-upped you on Roombas, baby girl. You have the off-brand Roomba, and I have the great value Roomba. But the bad news for both of us is that both of them are malfunctioning. So that's the story of the Roomba, Carissa, just so you know. Anyway. Let's play Pong. Exactly. And this, my friend, is why I have sworn off dating sites. This is why. Okay, because I have decided, I don't know if dating apps are bad or if it's me in dating apps. If I bring out the worst in dating apps or if they're just idiots over there. But dating apps for me, no. No. That's, to me, what I find on the dating apps are like the rejects. Somebody that nobody wants to deal with. So, all right. Now we have, this is Carissa. Why does it say Cassandra on your thing? Why did I put Cassandra? Did it autocorrect it? This is Carissa right here. Carissa, you're actually next. I don't know why the hell I put that. But anyway, Carissa, you're next. That's my opinion. See? Yeah, I think so. I think so. All right, Carissa, here we go. I gave you a new name, Carissa. All right, here we go. Yeah. So Carissa is a Jim. What is the future of my connection with Nolan the Pisces, the work crush? Let's see where this is going to go. Let's see where this is going to go. With Nolan the Pisces and Carissa the Gemini. How do things look between these two? How do these two look? Nolan the Pisces and Carissa the Gem. See? Clean the glasses. Let's see. What about Carissa the Gem and Nolan the Pisces? Give me the work crush. Is there anything to this? Is there anything to this? Is there anything to this? Is there anything to this with the work crush, Nolan the Pisces, for Carissa the Gemini? Let's take a look. Birdie, remind me to send you some funnies, and you too, Laura, on one that I ran across, or I'll just tell you all about it. Tell me about Nolan the Pisces, the work crush, with Carissa the Gem. Ooh, why is he in such a rush? He wants to get married in general. He's looking for a wife. Did you know that, Carissa? He is wanting to, like, he's looking for a wifey. He's got marriage on the brain. I mean, I know that he's a crush, but he's looking for a wifey. I don't think he is married. That's not what I feel. He's going to come towards you for sure. Why is that? Okay. You suspected. Wow, isn't that interesting? I do think he is into you. He's not married. Okay, so I did get that right. I think he's into you. I do think he's attracted to you. I saw that in some of the jumpers, okay? I'll tell you what was weird in the jumpers. I saw him being very into you and very attracted to you, okay? And I also saw third-party energy there. I thought, but I wasn't sure, okay? And then when I pulled the spread, I'm picking up that he's not over an ex. Yeah, I get you. I don't think he's over an ex. 100% single, yeah. I think he is single too. I think he is not over an ex, and I think he is looking for a speedy replacement. And I do think he finds you attractive. So I do see him coming towards you pretty soon, okay? There's this sense of urgency that I'm picking up, Carissa. It's like pain. Okay, yeah. All right, I got you. That's what I think it is. I think he's, and I'm going to tell you how I think this affects him. I think it affects him in that he has self-confidence issues. All right, I think it's affected. I think his self-esteem is not in the best place. Still issues related to that relationship, yeah. I think he's got self-confidence issues. And I also think he may have even trust issues. It's crazy because I think he's going to rush in, but at the same time, I think he also has trust issues. And I'm not sure if maybe he's been cheated on. Maybe that's why I saw that Three of Pentacles in the reverse. I mean, that could be. And he's still kind of carrying that same energy, right? But I absolutely, I think that's his issue. So make no mistake, the man finds you attractive, Carissa. Okay, he absolutely does. And he's also in a rush from, I mean, literally the first card out was marriage, and I got to get married quick. Like literally the Hierophant and the Knight of Swords and the Two of Pentacles in the reverse. That is like fast, fast, fast. I don't know for sure, but I get that energy. Yeah. That's what I think your issue is going to be with you. They aren't on good terms. Yeah. Yeah. I think he's still in a dark place. Justice in the reverse. He may have gone through a divorce. I know you said there was a breakup. I can't remember. But here's why the other reason that Justice card is in the reverse. All right. Do I think this is a bad guy? No. But I think, unfortunately, whoever he gets with, he does not right now have the capacity to give a person a fair chance. Period. Does that make sense? And I don't think he probably even realizes that. I don't think he even realizes that, Carissa. But it's kind of like, you know, when you're walking into something that's already shaky, right? But they were together 5 years. Yeah. And I think that's why the Justice card is here in the reverse, is because he just doesn't have the capacity to give you a fair chance on your own merit, if that makes sense. Because he's still got all these, you know, tangled up issues relative to that breakup and that experience with her that have to do with trust, self-confidence, and just not comfortable being alone. I know he's single. He doesn't like it worth a shit. And that scares me when people are not comfortable being single. That scares me about people. So that's what I got, Love Bug, and I hope that helps you. You let me know. And I appreciate you for booking, Carissa. Thank you for that. Good. And Carissa, for the record, and this is just Auntie Karen weighing in. You didn't ask for my opinion, but I'm going to give it. I think you're a delightful person. You and I have interacted over a long time now, right? You've been a cottage regular for a while, and I think you're a delightful woman, and it's no shock to me that this Pisces finds you attractive, and others will too. You're impatient as fuck. I get you. Do you get any idea of how long? I do. Here's how long: until he works on himself. And right now, he's not working on himself. What he's doing is pursuing somebody to numb his pain. So for now, he's not even realized he needs to do any work. So the longer he pursues relationships with people, the longer before he even starts doing the work. That's what I got. Beautiful. That's what I got. Yeah, that impatience is definitely a Gemini thing, right? Most assuredly. So Anne Marie is up next. He's working himself to death. Sounds to me like he's doing everything he can to distract himself from what he needs to be working on. The need to stay busy all the time is a response that people often choose when they've experienced heartbreak, emotional trauma, right? So there you go. Yeah, I mean every sign has its challenges, and I do agree that they can be challenging. But I will say I can't throw too much shade at any sign. I'm not really in a position to throw shade as a Gemini. But there we have it, right? Hey, Anne Marie, how you doing? All right, let's see what's up, Anne Marie. Let's see what's going on, beautiful. All right, so Anne Marie says, I am a Virgo. Ex-husband is a Cancer. I can feel him in my energy. Does he ever think of reaching out to me? Let's find out. This is actually a good question, Anne Marie, and I'm going to tell you why. When we have that thought, okay, when we feel people in our energy, can it mean that they're thinking of us? It's possible. It's not always true, contrary to what people tell you in the community. Sometimes it is that, and sometimes it is not. Sometimes it is just the lingering energy because we ourselves are not over someone, and that can often be rooted in the subconscious ties that we have to that person still, okay? And so it can be either way, Anne Marie. So you actually ask a really good question, because sometimes it's hard to be objective when we still have feelings for a person, right? It's hard to be objective, and we want to believe that they're thinking of us, and it can be that sometimes. And okay, I got you. And it can absolutely be that sometimes, but it can be hard to sort through that when we're in the throes of emotions. So good question. We're going to see if he ever thinks about you and thinks about reaching out. Let's see what we've got, Anne. Toward the Cancer toward you. The Cancer toward Anne, the Virgo. Give me the Cancer's energy toward Anne, the Virgo. Yes, he thinks about it. He absolutely thinks about reaching out. He has not energetically moved on from this, Anne. So what you're picking up, just so you know, he is thinking about you. That's why you're feeling it. That's why you're feeling it. He is thinking about you. He thinks about it a lot. He thinks about it a lot. He's never gotten over this. Tell me more on this for Anne. Tell me more on this from Anne. Why is that trying to get my attention? Whoa. He's always in my dreams. And dreams are related to the subconscious too. The subconscious is a tricky area. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, because I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you mentioned that, Anne. Tower, Justice in the reverse, Six of Pentacles in the reverse. I think he's had something that has happened. She says he's remarried with kids. That marriage is on the rocks. That marriage is on the rocks. And that's why he thinks about you. That marriage is on the rocks. In fact, I'm literally seeing a divorce here. I'm seeing this thing blown up between him and his person. I'm literally seeing a divorce. Tower, Justice, Six of Pentacles in the reverse. I literally see him going through a divorce or some kind of legal issue. That's what I got. Yeah, that's what I got, Anne. So, and dreams are from the subconscious as well, okay? Now, here's the thing about when people hit our energy like that and we have those dreams, sometimes it can happen because we're not over a person. Sometimes it can happen because we are psychically picking up on things. So it can be two different things that we have dreams, right? Nonetheless, he is thinking of you. Now, I will say this. A lot of time has passed, Anne, and both of you are probably two different people. We were first loves. Both of you are probably two different people. So just know that. Just know that, all right? And understand this. Even though he never got over you and this and that and the other, one thing you can't deny is that he made a decision to choose another person. And that probably hurt you. And so you got to think about that. You got to think about that. He may have been wonderful in many ways when you were with him, but he also married another person. And that is contradictory because we want to believe many times that somebody is always good or always bad, but two truths are true with this thing, okay? He was wonderful and he also hurt you. And you got to accept both of those things, right? You got to accept both of those things. He may or may not reach out to you. I don't know. But I would just caution you to be very careful because a lot of time has passed. You both are very different people. And I don't know. Yeah, I'm still hurt. See? I mean, and this is the thing. Let's talk about it, Anne. Let's you and I talk for just a minute. I want you to hear me out. There is a version of you that cries sometimes about this still. And there is a version of you that has cried many tears over this thing over the years. And you owe that version of yourself some loyalty. You owe that version of yourself some loyalty. And I want you to think about the fact that if you just were to give this man another chance, that would be a betrayal of the woman who cried a lot of ugly tears over this thing over the years. And it's okay that you cried. That is okay. That makes you human. It's okay to grieve. Those things are normal and healthy to see that, okay? But at the same time, does he even deserve access to you? And two truths can be true for you too. You can love a person and you can grieve their loss, and you can also say they don't deserve another opportunity with me. And yeah, had kids with another person that hurt me the most. Absolutely. So I think you've got to think about that as you and I will tell you that I think you're a prime example of why I many times say time does not heal all wounds. It is time plus shadow work. And this is not me picking on you. I get it, okay? But this is what people think. Time will heal all wounds. No, it won't. I think that, and you deserve to, I don't want to be a second choice. There you go. There you go, my love. So what I encourage you to do, Anne, is to get serious about shadow work, because what that's going to do is that's going to help you to put this thing to bed in your mind and in your heart. Okay? To put this thing to bed in your mind and your heart. Because, at the end of the day, and you absolutely deserve to be happy right now. And sadly, this has robbed you of some happiness along the years. And what I want to see you do is realize that you don't have to be heartbroken. You don't have to be heartbroken and you don't have to be torn. And if you will get serious about doing some shadow work, that's going to help you to reconcile those two feelings of wanting this person back and not wanting this person back. And it's going to help you to make sense of it. It's going to help you to put it to bed and be at peace with the way things ended, even though it hurt. And it's going to help you to come to your own conclusion in your mind of, does this person deserve an opportunity with me? And if so, here's why or here's why not, and be at peace with that. That's where shadow work is going to help you to get to. It's going to take you some time. And it's going to take you some work. Both. And I hope that that helps you, Anne. I hope that that helps you. And I want to say something to you, Anne. Yes, shadow work left us out of our quicksand. I want to say something that I think you may need to hear. You let me know if this helps you. I think, Anne, if I had to guess, I think there are a lot of times where you ask yourself, was what we even had real? Was what me and this cancer had even real? And I can assure you it was. And if you need somebody to say to you what you felt with this man back those many years ago was real, yes, it was. But what is also real is his decision to walk away from that and to marry another person. And so coming to terms with and accepting both of those truths, I think, is going to be foundational in helping you to ultimately release this. And I hope that that helps you. I hope that that helps you. All right. We've got Jessica up next. Good. I would say this, and I don't know how much you know about shadow work, but I have a ton of content, over 60 educational videos about shadow work, and it's actually very closely tied to modern day mental health thought and stuff like that. It's not a substitution for therapy at all, but I would say this. If I were you, here's what I would consider. If I were you and I were in your shoes, here's what I would consider. I would consider getting on Auntie Karen's Patreon, which is very affordable, particularly if you join from a laptop. It is cheaper on a laptop, by the way. And I would delve into those shadow work videos, and I would get into a therapy thing. Okay, I would really consider doing both, because I think those can work hand in hand. And I think that would be helpful. And that what that will do is that will put you kind of on a faster track, if you will. Okay? And it's going to help you to move through this a little easier, if you will. I would do that. There you go. There you go. Emma, a toasted bagel with cottage cheese, pickled onions, and chili sauce. Emma, I love you, but I don't love your food. Yuck! I don't like cottage cheese though. But I think the pickled onions sound good. But I hope that helped you. Yeah, what Birdie said. You deserve the best that life has to offer. Yes. Anne, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you for that. I greatly appreciate you. I love my little Virgo community. That's fair, Emma. All right, so Miss Jessica, let's get you going. Here we go, Miss Jessica. Jessica is Aries Sun, Gemini Moon, Scorpio Rising. What can you tell me about possibly moving from back to California from Nevada? What do I need to hear? So, okay, Jessica, make sure I got your questions right before we go on. First, I'm going to look specifically at this potential move, and then just a general what needs to come out that you need to know. Is that what your two questions are? Make sure I understand before I read for you. All right, my love, and we'll see what we got for you. Yeah, I'm always a big believer in meditation. I'm always a big believer in meditation. But make sure I've got your questions right, Jessica. Well, thank you. Thank you, Anne. I appreciate you. And David, do you have my email address? Because I'm going to give you access to my a month of. You're right. You're right. You're right. Yeah, Bertie, if you can put, I think Aaron's link will come through. And David, email me, and I will give you a free month on my Patreon. Okay, if you'll email me, and again, it may take me about 24 hours to get back to you and David, but I will. And I want you to delve into my shadow work. I also want you to binge on a creator that Birdie has mentioned. Thank you for that, Birdie. Aaron Doughty is a huge channel here on YouTube. He has a bajillion subscribers, and that is his channel name, and he has some exceptionally good videos to help people in releasing things. Okay, so I will do that for you. I want you to get on Aaron's channel, and I also I think therapy, it might be in order for you. I think all of those things will be the toolkit that will help you, and that's what we want to do is put you into the places, plug you into the places that we think that will help you. Okay, but I want you to binge on my shadow work stuff. I want you to binge on Aaron Doughty, and maybe find a therapist. I think all of those things. I have a therapist. I'm not too proud. Emma just talked about she has a therapist. Hey, it's a thing. One of my good friends is a therapist, in fact. There it is. There it is. Yeah, one of my good friends is a therapist. And she's actually a mod on this channel. She's not here right now, but she's an amazing human. Beautiful Scorpio friend of mine. You have one. Okay, good. Good, good, good. I think those other things combined with that will be helpful for you. Let's see if it'll let me put it on there, Birdie. Let me see if I can look it up. Here is his channel. I'm going to put his channel link on here. I'm going to see if this will work. Yeah, and come back here where everyone loves you, just like Jesse said. Did that work? Yep, that worked. Birdie got it too. We both got it, Birdie. Yay, go us. So yeah, go subscribe to Aaron's channel as well. He's got some very valuable, beneficial help for you. All right, Jessica, let's read for Jessica. Jessica, let's look at this upcoming move for you. I'm going to re-timestamp for you, Jessica. All right, here we go. Jessica, what about, how do the energies look for possibly moving back to Cali from Nevada for Jessica the Aries? How do the energies look for Jessica the Aries to move back to California from Nevada? How do the energies look? You'll have an increase in income tax, I'll tell you that. My CPA brain is coming out. That's a good idea, Birdie. It's a good idea. Tell me about the energies for Jessica to move back to California from Nevada. Back to California from Nevada. I like California, but it has one of the highest state income tax rates, I think, in the nation. And Nevada, as you know, has 0, which is pretty cool. But, you know, I'm sure there are other trade-offs. Tell me about moving back to California from Nevada. Why is the Three of Cups here in the reverse on this thing? King of Wands here in the reverse. Sun in the reverse. Girl! Girl, why is this coming out like this? Judgment. Ace of Wands. Three of Swords. I think this is something you're excited about. And let me tell you what I think is going on here. I think, Jessica, I don't think this has to do with an ex. That's not what I think that Judgment card is here for. But there's something here that you're trying to rekindle or recapture with the Judgment card. And I don't think it is recapturable. Is that a word? I don't think that whatever this is you're trying to recapture can be recaptured. And I'm not sure what it is. But I think that if I'm right and you're trying to recapture something, a part of your life, a friend group, I don't know that it's going to work like you're hoping it will. I think if you're looking to recapture something, here's what I get. You can make a happy life there. I just confirmed that. You can make a happy life in California. You absolutely can. But it's not going to be the same. All right, it's going to be different, and you're going to have to look at this as a new start and not returning to something and trying to recapture what used to be, whatever that is. All right. So I think as long as you keep that in mind, I almost get that whatever this is you're trying to recapture, if you did it, you'd have to shrink yourself. That's what I feel, Jessica. That's what I'm getting. Is that if you're trying to recapture a person you used to be or a part of your life you used to enjoy, you would have to shrink yourself from where you are now to back to where you were then. And I think you're a different girl in the best of ways. I think you've grown beyond whatever that place is. And that may have been a fun place and an enjoyable time in your life. But I think there's something that can't be recaptured. Do I think you can turn it around and be successful there? Yes, I do. But I just feel like that what you need to know is that if you're going back, go back with the idea of this is a new start. not I'm going back to something. I don't know if that makes sense to you, Jessica, but that's what I'm picking up. That's what I'm picking up. I think it all depends on what your expectations are and what your goals are about returning. That's what I got. We are going to see what you need to know in general. You've grown a lot this year. Yes. See? Absolutely. And I believe that. I believe that. So I just think, I almost think you're, I think and there's nothing wrong with trying to reconnect with old friends and stuff. But I kind of feel like, I just thought of a thing that happened in my own life that might apply. Right here in the same town. Nonetheless, I'm going to share a little quick story with you, Jessica, that kind of fits this, okay? I had worked in a particular restaurant for a number of years, okay? And I had some really fun friendships there. And we lost touch. And in the meantime, I started in the meantime, I'd started working on myself and doing a lot of inner work and shadow work and healing and all this kind of stuff. And they decided they wanted to get together for just old time's sake. And we all went to dinner. And I was really looking so forward to it. And it was fun for a few minutes. And then it became the most miserable night of my life. Because I realized I no longer had a damn thing in common with those folks, right? So you may find that out, Jessica. You may find that out. And I missed them. I mean, I get it. I missed them. I missed those times. And I realized sometimes, we grow and other people may or may not, right? So just keep that in mind. And I'm not going to tell you not to reconnect with old friends, sure. But don't be surprised if you have that experience, if that makes sense. I could not get home fast enough, Jessica. I could not wait to get the hell home. I could not get out of there fast enough. I was like, oh my God, take me back to my cave now. I am not meant to people anymore with these folks. What does Jessica need to know in general? What does Jessica... And that might be a good reason to move. If your son is not thriving, that might be a good reason to move. What does Jessica need to know in general? What does Jessica need to know in general? Anything that Jessica needs to know in general. Anything that Jessica needs to know in general. Anything that Jessica needs to know in general. Jessica the Aries with the Gemini moon and the Scorpio rising. What does Jessica need to know in general? Believe people when they show you who they are in general. Believe people when they show you who they are. That came out. Anything else? Once people show you who they are, keep it moving. I don't know if that applies to you or not. I also get, the Queen of Wands is Aries in the Minor Arcana. Okay, and that's come out here. And it's a reminder of remember who you are and act accordingly. Treat yourself accordingly, all right? You also, let's see what else Jessica needs to know. What else does Jessica need to know? be careful around financial matters. All right? Be careful around financial matters. Don't make rush decisions with regard to financial matters. All right? Think things through. Look at how you would be impacted. And if you're making any major financial decisions, like renting a new place, for example, buying cars, stuff like that, anything where you got to sign on the dotted line, read. And also make sure that you don't take, in other words, here's what I get for you right now. I think you're in a pretty good place financially. But I think that, you on impulse, it's possible that you would make some decisions where you would somehow be stressed. Okay? And I think be careful of that. Don't make quick decisions before you have all the information and you've thought it through and you've looked at your budget and you've really thought about what you want to do. All right? And what you can bite off. All right? Yeah, don't be nonchalant on financial decisions. All right? I also get another thing to tell you, Jessica. This came out. I think if you do move to California, I think you'll have a whole new friend group that's a lot more solid as far as where you are now in terms of your growth. Always stress about money. There you go. I think that you're going to have a whole new friend group that is going to be more like, they would fit with you more, this version of you, than the version of you that left California, if that makes sense. I absolutely do. I still get this energy of be careful of people trying to take advantage of you financially. I just get that. Be careful of that, all right? Be very careful of that. Anything else? Yeah, I just keep getting that I think you're going to vibe with a whole different group in California than who you vibed with when you left. I think it's going to surprise you. That's what I got, and I hope that helps you, love. I hope that helps you. I think what we're going to do, and thank you, Jessica. Yes, very exciting. What we're going to do, before I read for Melissa, I'm gonna officially close things down for mini readings. There we go. And we'll put that right there. Well, that didn't work. Let's make this smaller. There we go. Does that fit? Yep, that fits. Okay. And then I'm going to go mark things sold out real quick before I read for Melissa. So, Melissa, you'll be last. There we go. Thank you, Jessica. I appreciate you as always. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Hey, Melissa. So it's complicated, Mr. A, but both are aligned for a break. I don't know what you're saying there. What will happen as party is this Saturday or in the days to come? I don't know what you're asking. I do not know what you're asking. No contact with my, it's complicated, Mr. A. Okay, I got you now. Okay. Let's see what we got, love. So let's see what's going to happen with your person that you are in no contact with going forward at this party and then going forward. Let's take a look at what's going to happen in the future with this person that Melissa is no contact with. She is a Leo, by the way. By the way, Leo, happy birthday. And your moon is in Cancer. My moon is actually in Capricorn. You had said, like me, I do not have a Cancer moon. I have a Cancer Venus, but I have a Capricorn moon. But let's see what's going to happen for this no contact situation. He's okay. You guys are no contact, but he's going to be at this party. How's this going to go from him toward Melissa as it relates to this party? The energies around this person with whom she is in no contact. How is this looking? He is a Pisces. How is the Pisces toward Melissa at this party? How is the Pisces toward Melissa at this party? How is this Pisces toward Melissa at the party? How is this Pisces toward Melissa at the party? Oh, you're fine, baby girl, you're fine. And happy birthday. How is this Pisces toward Melissa at this party? How is this Pisces toward Melissa Leo at this party? King of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles in the reverse, the World card. What's that about? Here's what's interesting. I don't get him being hard to deal with, okay? I don't get him being hard to deal with. I think he's going to be pretty steady in the way that he handles himself. I don't get him doing something that creates an awkward situation, okay? I don't get that at all, Melissa. I kind of think that he is going to approach you, but in a good way, in a positive way. He is going to approach you in a positive way. I think he is rethinking a decision he made. I think he's been dealing with another person, and I think he regrets that. And I think he is going to probably express that to you. Now, that is going to present a pretty interesting dynamic for you. I absolutely think he is going to move toward you, if not at the party, shortly thereafter. And I think he's going to tell you he regrets dealing with a third party that he dealt with, okay? Or he regrets a decision he made, all right? Now, let me ask you this, Melissa. If that happens, if I'm right, and that happens, did he not know you before he made this decision to go no contact with you and deal with this third party? Did he not know that? And yet he did that. And there you were, left there standing, no contact from this man for what? 3 months now? 4 months? 3 months? May, June, July, August. Yeah, 3 months, okay. He did me dirty in my back. Yes. And so here's the thing, Melissa. I hope that you are loyal to the girl that he left standing there. I hope you have more loyalty to yourself than you do to him. You did the no contact. Okay, all right, fair enough. But that no contact probably was related to something that he did. I would imagine that's why you cut off contact. And so I do think he's going to try to, he didn't reach out or either. So yeah, I think you've got to hopefully look at this and start thinking about, hey, you could have reached out to me all this time, and you chose to no contact me just as much, and you chose to do this. And so now I'm going to let you stay there. You chose to let me go, and I'm going to let you stay there. You're going to stay having let me go. I'm going to honor your choices that you made in dealing with that third party. That's my advice. That's my advice. But yes, he was disrespectful. See there? There you go. And Melissa, you know something? This is the thing. Everybody deserves to be treated with respect. Whether he wants to be with you or not, he could have been respectful towards you in the way he handled himself, correct? And he was not. And that matters. That matters. And I want you to repeat after me, Melissa. I want this to be a new mantra for you and anybody else that's listening. And this doesn't have to be something that we scream to the top of our lungs. I will be treated sacredly. And that begins with how I treat myself. Yes, you know what is, I'm going to say this. This comes back to two seemingly contradictory things can be true, right? And good that you see this. Yes, it's very strange that we can still love a person, but we don't want to be with them. And I will say this to you, Melissa, if nobody else says this to you, I am proud of you for having the ability to hold both of these truths and realize that it's okay that you love a person. And give yourself the permission to feel whatever you feel. You can absolutely love a person, and you can know that you don't need them in your life, right? And that is okay. Yes, I will be treated sacredly. Yes, and that starts with how I treat myself and what I will settle for and who I allow access to from in my life, right? So, yes, I will be treated sacredly. And it starts with how I treat myself and who I allow in my world. Access to your energy, to your life, to being in your life and your circle and that sort of thing, whether it's a romance or friend or whatever, that's a privilege. That's a privilege that you grant to people as you choose. So keep that in mind. Melissa, I tell you, when I first started exercising my sovereignty, my own agency around who got access to me, it was awkward. I'm not going to even lie to you. It was hard. It was awkward. And my cutoff game has gotten so solid in the last year, okay? And, I had a person that I considered a friend several months ago that, I explained to that person in a nice way, we can't continue this friendship, and here's why. Because I was majorly disrespected, and I won't go into the details, okay? And the person then came back and said, I just want to know how you're doing. And I never answered that person when they asked me that question, because if you're not in my life anymore, you don't have access to that information. You don't get to know how I'm doing. That's for people that are in my circle. You don't get to know if I'm happy, sad, broke, rolling in dough, thriving, suffering. You don't get to know any of those things about me when you lose access to me. And I just didn't even answer the question. It's not your right to know how I'm doing. You lost that right. You lost that, not a right. It's not your right. You lost that privilege. So there you go. All right. Let's see about this job thing for you. I lost a job in March. Can't find a job in the area. Looking to start my own service as a consultant and build my own office. Should I? Probably. We will look and see. And I will say this in general. Really? God, thank you for that. That means the world. That means the world. I mean, I use some pretty good skincare products, but beyond that, it's just inner work. I will say this, I'm a lot more at peace with myself than I was even a year ago. And I hope next year I'm unrecognizable from right now. That's the goal, right? Continuing improvement. But let's talk about this job thing. And what I would say is this, Melissa. Start in general. I'm going to talk to you about this very thing. Start with what you have and do what you can. You won't know until you try with regard to consulting. And what I would say is this, if you can do this out of your home and not have a big major investment on the upfront, then yes, absolutely. Let's see how this consulting business looks for you. Let's pull cards on it. Let's throw some cards on it, Melissa, and see what we can find out for you. But I'm like this. How you might as well try. What you got to lose? Melissa, back in 2020, by the way, I'm a former CPA, Melissa. You may or may not know that about me. Back in 2020, I lost my job in a CFO role because of COVID. I got bored and started a tarot channel. I make as much now as I did then, actually more, and I'm a hell of a lot happier. Do I work hard? Yes. I work a lot of hours behind the scenes that nobody knows about. Y'all see me visibly for a few hours a day. There's easily many 12-hour days in my work, but I couldn't be happier. I do a lot of personal readings. I do a lot of mentorships and stuff like that. But I do a lot of behind the scenes work where it's just me and the computer, right? You have access for free 6 months with an investor. Now there you go. Okay, there you go. Jump on it, Melissa. Let's see what things look like for you. For an office. Let's see what things look like. There you go. There's my story in a nutshell. There's a little bit more to it than that, but that's the short version, Melissa. So that job loss for me put me on the path I was supposed to be on. This could be that for you. This could be putting you on the path you're supposed to be on. You never know. I have not looked back. Zero regrets. Hierophant. People are going to come to you because you're smart. This consulting thing, you must have some kind of niche where you know a lot. You must be a smart cookie about something, Melissa. I know it's scary, and I get it. Here it is in the cards. 4 of Swords in reverse. There's the scary part. And you're going to even have imposter syndrome. You're even going to suffer. Am I supposed to do this? Yes. Now, am I going to promise you that you're not going to be afraid? No. No, I will never make you that promise. I don't care how long you be in business. Sometimes you have fears. The cards say you've got some expertise that people want. That's what my cards are telling me. You've got some, I don't know what your niche is. I don't know what it is your field is that you're smart in. But you've got some expertise. My cards don't lie. You've got some expertise. And I kind of get that you are innovative, that your approach is different. And yeah, I get you thriving in this thing. I feel too young to be an expert. Don't discount yourself. Don't dismiss your expertise. All right. Look, I was holding the role of equivalent to VP Finance whenever I was 27. Somehow I managed. You will too. I absolutely, I think it's a great idea. And I get you thriving. I get you living your best life. That's what I get. Emma Birdie has this thing that he calls the timeout tower when we take a break from romance. He calls it the timeout tower. So that's why he said you were in the tower, Emma. Anyway. I say go for it, Melissa. And don't second guess yourself. And here's what I also get to tell you. You don't have to beat them. You don't have to beat them. Here's what the thing is. You don't have to be like them. You're not. Your main competition is you. You're going to be totally different than everybody else, and that's what's going to set you apart. You're not competing with people. You're not competing with anybody because you're different. You're going to offer something different. I don't know, but there's something that you've got that other people don't have. Okay? And so you're not competing with others. You're just competing with yourself. And you know, let's talk about me. I'm a very different kind of a reader. Okay, I cut up and I joke a lot, but I'm also very serious when it comes to inner work and shadow work and the journey and spirituality. And that's a unique niche. But yet I'm very different. I'm very cheeky and I have some ridiculous humor sometimes. And somehow a lot of people probably would find that like, how does that go together? But you know, sometimes, you know, I saw a meme one time that said this. You know, the pearl clutchers that are out there that watch tarot, my haters, right? And we all have them. Every reader has haters. It is what it is, whatever. But they look at me and I'm sure they think, well, she doesn't look like a healer. And the universe says, or she doesn't act like a healer. And the universe says, I wasn't looking for an actor. So you've got your niche. My stomach is going for a jog as we speak. That's funny. But I absolutely feel like you've got this. I'm going to tell you what I predict. And I hope you'll keep me informed. Okay? I hope you'll come back to me 6 months from now and say, Auntie, you were right. This is the best thing I ever did. That's what I predict. I think you're going to come back to me and say that. I hope you'll stay in touch with me between now and then, of course, and let me hear from you and give me updates and just chat with me. But I absolutely think when this is all said and done, you're going to look back at this and go, God, the only regret I have is I didn't do this sooner. And there's going to come a point in time where you're going to say, I'm so glad I lost my job, because I do that all the time. I'm so glad I lost that job. Fun fact, I actually got a new job right before my channel blew up. And I had to quit it after I started 2 days. I had started 2 days into the work and my channel just started blowing up and I'm like, I can't keep doing my channel and this job. And I quit the job and never looked back, and it was a good job at a good company. And I have never regretted that decision a day in my life. I cannot think of a more special hell than going to work every day as a CFO. And I was good at it, but it wasn't where I was supposed to be. And I didn't know that. So I hope that helps you, Melissa. I hope that helps you. And thank you for booking with me. I appreciate all the kind words. Thank you so much. See? There you go. It's not even the same. See there? So there you go. Birdie, I got a surprise for you, Birdie. Birdie, now that I'm finished with everybody's readings, Birdie, where the hell are they? Where are my cards? What is that it? No. Where the hell are my... Oh, here they are. That's why I haven't been reading with them. They got tucked behind another deck, Birdie. All right, Birdie. This is for you, my friend. Thank you, Birdie. You're so kind. I appreciate that. Rebel, 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 rebel. All right, Birdie. What does Birdie need to know from the Rebel deck? What does Birdie need to know from the Rebel deck? I'm doing freebies on the Rebel deck if anybody wants one. These are just for funsies, by the way. If you're here and you want a Rebel card, let me know. Birdie, you didn't ask. Give me a Rebel deck card for Birdie. Give me a Rebel deck card for Birdie. Rebel deck. Oh, Birdie. You are loved. You're here for a reason, Birdie. Don't fuck it up. That's what you got. That's what you got. All right. Who wants a Rebel deck? Who wants a Rebel card? If you're here and I see your name, I might pick you out. Laura Ann, I got you. What does Laura Ann need to know from the Rebel deck? What does Laura Ann need to know? I got you, Jesse. You'll be next. I'm going to pull for Laura Ann and then I'm going to pull for Jesse. What does Laura Ann need to know from the Rebel deck? Ooh, don't fucking force it. Allow shit to come to you. Baby, you are the prize. Allow that shit to come to you. Love that. All right, Jesse. Okay, Emma, I got you. You'll be after Jesse. What does Jesse need to know from the Rebel deck? What does Jesse need to know from the Rebel deck? We're just having fun. What does Jesse need to know from the Rebel deck? What does Jesse need to know from the Rebel deck? Sometimes this deck will call you out. Oh! Oh, Jesse. Jesse, you're getting called out. It's dark and you can't see a fucking thing. Get your head out your ass pronto. Oh, God. All right, let's see what Emma needs to know. All right, Emma, this one came flying out. Oh, Lord. Emma, don't talk to anyone. Don't look at anyone. You need some fucking time alone, and you know why. Apparently, the Rebel deck is sending you to the timeout tower. Yes, Melissa, I got you, love. I got you. All right, what does Melissa need to know from the Rebel deck? What does Melissa need to know from the Rebel deck? What does Melissa need to know from the Rebel deck? What does Melissa need to know from the Rebel deck? Melissa, it's not everyone else's fault. It's yours. You're a grown-ass adult. Stop blaming others for your shit. Oh, my God. I can't with this deck. I can't with this deck. Oh, my God. That's funny. Anybody else want to tear a Rebel card? All right, I'm going to pull one for me. Since I call all the y'all out, I'm going to pull one for me. Give me one. Give me a rebel card. Yep, Emma got put in the tower. Ooh, time to let go. Move the fuck on. Oh my God, what do I need to move on for? I need to release some shit. Apparently I need to release some shit. Okay. Heard. I feel called out. I feel called out. I love the Rebel deck. It's so much fun. Look, Birdie laughs about it, but the fact of the matter is Birdie actually has the key to his tower. He locks it from the inside. He goes inside that tower, locks it, and puts the sofa in front of the door so nobody can come in. He has really grown to love his tower. That hermit has become a permanent hermit, right? That's what I got. That's what I got. God. Yes, I need to come to the tower with all of you people. I need to be in my own timeout tower. That was fun, wasn't it, Jesse? I enjoyed that. That was fun. We do. You're right. We all need to let shit go. God, it's so true. It's so true. Lord, Lord, Lord. You guys have made my night. It's been such a fun night, and I've enjoyed this so much, and I hope that everybody that is still listening that booked readings got the clarity they needed. I really do. Oh. Jesse. Oh, Bertie's grown his nose hairs for somebody to climb up the tower. Oh my God, that's crazy. Yeah, Bertie, you got company now. You got company now. Oh my God, you guys are a mess. You guys are a hot mess. My two earth sign men that are amazing mods, or y'all keep me laughing. Jesse's a Taurus, Bertie's a Virgo. Thank you, Emma. I appreciate you. Thank y'all all. All right, so I'm gonna get out of here. I'll get timestamps up here in a minute. And anyway, you know, Laura, something I never tell you. I love hearing from you. I love when you message me, and I know sometimes I'm slow to get back to you. I don't want you to ever think that's because I don't like hearing from you, because I absolutely adore your messages. So thank you for keeping in touch with me. It means a lot. You mean a lot to me, Laura. I appreciate you, and I don't tell you that enough. I got to tell you this was one of my favorite moments. I'm like, well, I'm glad. I'm glad, Melissa. I appreciate that. You guys always make me feel so happy. I'm already happy, and I just come here and you guys just, yeah, you guys just rock. I appreciate y'all. And the mod squad here at the cottage, I've got probably the best mod squad I've ever had right now. This is probably the most solid group of mods I've ever had. I've had some good mods over the years, for sure. I don't want to discount that. But the mod squad that's here now, and some of them that are great aren't here in this chat, but I've got some great ones that are here, but I've probably got the most solid mod squad I've ever had, and I don't say that to y'all nearly enough. So I just want to say once again, I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Laura. I hope you prop your feet up, Laura. I hope you're enjoying your night off. I agree with Birdie. Enjoy the rest of your night off. All right, love you guys, and I'm going to get out of here. This has been such a great night. Thank you guys so much. I'll see y'all next time. Bye, y'all.